welcome to the Farm RPG Podcast. I am your host, Bhelogan. Hey, it's been a hot minute or a month since we had an episode release. Apologize for the delay in that. Work's been crazy for myself and Auggie as well. Hey, guess what? We need more content to push out there. So we would love to hear from you. If you've never been on the show, we'd love to do a player spotlight with you. If you have been on the show, we'd love to have a follow-up interview with you as well. So please feel free to reach out to myself or Auggie, get that scheduled, and keep things rolling. Love to hear from everybody. All right, this episode is going to feature a player spotlight with Spaghetti and Meatballs Incorporated and a tea time. Let's get to it. This is another player spotlight on the Farm RPG Podcast. I'm a little rusty because it's been a bit since I've done one of these. We'll work our way through it one way or another. No co-host tonight. Everybody's MIA, but our guest is Spaghetti and Meatballs Incorporated.
That's me. Hello.
Hey, so first of all, I'm going to give you the Persistence Award. I think you pinged me about a month ago originally.
Maybe something around there.
Like, hey, I want to be on the podcast. I'm like, oh, yeah, we should totally do that. And then November nothing's happened in November. Everyone following the podcast has probably realized I had released nothing in November. Not because we haven't been recording, but it just
happened. Yeah, it happens. We all get busy.
Yeah, such is life. Things that we'll talk about after the new year.
Yes.
In the works. Anyway, that out of the way. Let's talk about you a little bit. So you've been playing since September 20th.
Yes, I have.
This year. So back in September, that's not that long ago, really, just a couple months ago. How did you find about Farm RPG in the first place?
Well, I found Farm RPG. I was sitting in my chemistry class, and I noticed my friend was playing a game on the school Chromebook. So I asked him about it, and he's playing Farm RPG. So I decided I would give it a try, and really, ever since I've been hooked on it. It's just really fun. Got a lot of things to it.
So did your friend have to give you any kind of a sales pitch, describe what the game was, or you just kind of look over his shoulder and figure it out?
I just pretty much looked over his shoulder and just kind of asked him about it. That was it.
And since at that point, have you convinced anyone else to play?
I've convinced about 4 of my other friends to play it, but they're not really as active. One of them is, but the others just really aren't. I mostly did it to get some more gift baskets, evil me.
Nothing wrong with that. So, what's your sales pitch? You're describing what Farm RPG is to somebody else trying to get them to play. How do you do that?
Well, it'd be more or less of, you looking for a fun game just to play during classes? Farm RPG. Make sure you use my referral code, though. Always got to add that one in.
You had any issues with the school IP trying to block the website yet?
Yeah, they unfortunately blocked it, which is why I think a couple of my friends aren't on it. But I got it on my phone and other stuff, so I'm always on it. Never breaking.
So if you listen to some of the first episodes of the podcast, I had my kid Dead Bushy on episode 5. And when he was in junior high, they got their first Chromebooks. And so his way of not getting in trouble while playing games is he actually created a website that had a URL really similar and had the same header as the school district's website. Because the software the teachers were using, we just look and see what tabs the kids had open. So that's what would show up and they'd see it. And then he had all of his games embedded in there. He wanted to play. I think it was Flash games at the time.
If I knew how to make that, I 100% would. Unfortunately, not really big on the whole technical side.
Yeah, if they block the IP address, that may not help anyway. But
oh yeah, no.
So you're named after a dinner, Spaghetti and Meatballs. Where did the inspiration for that username come from?
Well, as soon as I was making my account, I was like, I could go for a nice bowl of spaghetti right now. So I was like, that should be my name, Spaghetti and Meatballs.
Spaghetti a staple in your house? Something you eat frequently?
I try and have it as much as possible. Like, I'll tend to cook it if we have it, but it's my little personal staple.
Here we go. Do you do meatballs or do you mix meat in with the sauce? What's your recipe?
It just kind of depends on the mood, you know. Do I throw in some meatballs or do I just mix it in the sauce? Just however I feel.
All right. Is it ground beef or ground turkey? What's the preference?
Ground beef, always.
All right. It's okay to be wrong.
Yes.
We'll let you have that. We do strictly ground turkey in the Bhelogan household.
Ah.
But we also, my wife is, she's Czech, so they cook a little bit differently. She actually puts sugar in the sauce, so it's kind of a sweet spaghetti sauce. I think most of them had before a little more sour
Doesn't sound
on
that
that
bad.
side, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's definitely one of the favorites in the house as well. All
Maybe
right.
I'll have to try it in. Yep. Sorry.
Yeah, just a little bit, not too much. Now, feel free to interrupt me anytime you want. This is your interview. I'm just the host. I'm just here to get you to talk. That's my job.
Well, I'll talk as much as you need me to.
All right. Well, besides Farm RPG, what games do you play?
Well, I just currently bought myself a PC, and that's pretty cool. I'm trying to get it set up, but I think I'm going to play some Gary's Mod. You ever heard of it? One of my friends says it's really fun, so I'm going to try and get into it.
Now, PC, is this a pre-built PC, or did you buy parts and you're building it yourself?
Yeah, I bought it pre-built from Best Buy.
What's the specs on it?
I would need to get the list. I can't remember it off the top of my head.
All right, no problem. Not everyone's a huge nerd. We build PCs in our house. So we're always looking at what's the next upgrade I want to do. We've got me and my and Bushy or Dead Bushy. We're the PC builders, which also means we're the de facto tech support. So anytime anything's wrong, guess who gets called?
Yeah, that's nice. No one in my family is really big on PCs.
So besides computer games, do you have any non-electronic games you like to play?
I mean, I like to play Uno with my sister here and there.
There we go.
That's one of our favorites.
Classic rules, or do you have house rules for Uno?
Classic rules. We're not very creative.
All right. We play a variant called Jungle Uno, and it's mostly the same. The rules we use is if you have a card that's the exact same card, you can play it. It's like if it's a blue draw 2, they play, you can play another blue draw 2, and they stack.
Oh, like that
way.
We sometimes do it. It just depends. It's
and
odd.
then we play
if
you play a 0, you can discard as many cards out of your hand as you want and draw new ones. Those are our house rules.
Those are good. I like those.
It's fun. If you've only got 2 people playing, though, it's kind of just like you just build up to the point where the other person doesn't get a chance to play. So you get your combo together.
Oh, I love stacking up like
what it comes down to.
Draw 4s and whatnot, and just throwing them all at once.
Right? Just don't give them a chance to play.
Exactly.
That's the way to win 2-person Uno. 3-person Uno is more about convincing the other player to gang up on who you want to get out first.
Mm-hmm. That's the good stuff.
All right. Well, if there's anything you wish the Farm RPG community knew, does not have to be game related, but could be, what would that be?
I would say just reach out to the community more. Like, there's some people who just don't talk and chat often, but it's definitely really good to talk and chat. A lot of helpful people out there, really helpful people. It's really nice.
I feel like you're making fun of me for ghosting so much in chat.
No, I would never.
You can. It's all right. I have been not so great at being in chat lately. People like, who's this Bhelogan guy? Why is he out here trying to get interviews?
Nah, it's okay. But yeah, definitely the new people should reach out. There's really helpful people.
It's definitely a pretty good community. We work hard to keep it that way.
Yeah, most definitely. It's one of the really good ones I've ever seen. It's really good.
Do you have any interesting facts about yourself you'd like to share?
I think just that I like spaghetti. That might be obvious.
Well, let's talk about spaghetti a little bit more.
Okay, I'm good at this conversation.
Let's get some interesting spaghetti facts.
Interesting spaghetti facts you want?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know if you're prepared or not, but
I think I got a couple. Most people think that, spaghetti might not be too long of a dish. But it was more invented at least 1,000 years ago. It's like just real nice. People 1,000 years ago knew how to make the perfect dish.
Yep, it's been around for a while. It was apparently part of a cultural and religious invasion, 1827, according to these 10 tantalizing facts about spaghetti I'm looking at. All right, what else? We could probably guess spaghetti gets its name from its shape.
Yeah, based on the noodles.
Do not confuse spaghetti with spaghetto or spago. Those are different.
Big difference in the spaghettis.
Yep. It's also not to be confused with spaghettotini and spaghettini. Tony and Teeny. Different names there. Apparently, this noodles used to be a lot longer. The average spaghetti noodle was 50 centimeters long until about the second half of the 20th century.
Huge thing of spaghetti.
Regular box. Yeah. What else? Some of these are just. Apparently, you can stir spaghetti to stop it from sticking. I don't know why you'd want to do that. But, stir your noodles if you don't want it to stick.
It's good to know.
And the largest ever serving spaghetti filled a swimming pool.
I would definitely swim in it.
I would not want to clean that pool afterwards. That would be a mess.
It's all fun and games until you have to clean it.
Right? That's our pool for sure. It's nice until you have to clean it. All right, awesome. With that, do you have any parting words for us or any shout outs you wanted to give?
Well, I can give one shout out to Captain Kettle 83. He's the first person I referred. So shout out to you.
There you go. All right, awesome. Well, hey, thanks again for reaching out, being persistent, and coming on the podcast and letting us get to know you a little bit.
Well, of course. Thanks for having me.
Lovely. All right, here we go. This is, I don't know if I should call it tea time or not. I mean, usually only here after the fact.
That's true. You're only editing us, but it's a tea time minus Augie, I guess.
It's like when your kids have a tea time and then the parent has to come in and clean up. I mean, that's usually my role.
Yes, that is usually how that one works. But we haven't had a tea time in so long, so we've all been very busy. So may as well, I can stay and help you clean this one up. We can work on it together.
All right, that works. I agreed to put on the apron and whatever hat I'm supposed to wear and sit down at the toy table.
Right. And I'll feed you, mush, a mud cake. Something similar.
As long as there's gummy worms on it.
Yeah, perfect. Gummy worms works. But yeah, it's tea time with Boobun and Augie, but Augie's not here. We have Bhelogan. So we're going to do our normal ad lib stuff.
That's right. And it's been a hot minute since we've had a tea time.
It has been a hot minute.
I'm just thinking, if we're going to talk about updates, how many pages do we have to scroll through?
I don't know. A lot. There's been a lot of updates since the last time we talked about them. So let's just go back to cooking. When did cooking even drop?
Good question. Let's search on the updates page.
I'm gonna click
I see something from October 21st, but that sounds fruit punch for cooking. We're getting all ovens at once, so it was before that. And I'm guessing because the normal update page only goes back to October 20th. So
okay,
well, I think updates.
Yeah, I hit all updates. I think we talked maybe about it very briefly because when did it? So it went live on the 17th of October. It says. So
that was probably for all players out of beta.
For all players out of beta. So now that it's out of beta, because I think we talked about it in beta, because I think we talked about it a little bit when I first was added to staff at the midway point of October. So I think now we could probably talk about how it settled in for the regular player at this point.
Yeah, that's probably a good place to start. So, as a regular player, Boobun, how do you use cooking?
Very right now it's very sparse. It's so slow. Cooking is really slow to get started. I found. I feel like everybody's found that one. Um, I like it though. It's different. Having to check in with the, uh, like the stirring and the tasting and the what was the other one? It's like stirring, tasting, and
Seasoning.
seasoning. Yes.
Yeah.
Having to check in with those adds a different dynamic, I think, to how you would normally play the game. Because I mean, I leave it open all day and check in on my crops very rarely. So this is like it keeps you kind of more engaged. Um,
hmm
but the meals are bomb. Like they're OP, I think, which I think they're going to get nerfed at some point. But I think they are OP on some of them, especially. But yeah, they're great. The
So,
silver one, so good.
yeah, the silver one's pretty good. I use that. I think about which ones do I actually use, and as much as we talk about it being OP, it seems like whenever we talk about the numbers of it being used, there's not that many being used compared to what we're kind of cooking. I mean, I use the lemonade AP ones, I use the nut ones, and the cider ones, and I'll
Hmm.
use like two or three when I'm doing a catch up on nets or exploring a couple times a week. But it's not like a daily thing.
I feel like people are
We're
hoarding them.
using.
Also, I think it's being hoarded. Like I'm hoarding them a little bit. Like I'm not using them as much as I probably could be. Um, because I'm afraid. For some reason, you have that RPG thing where you like everything is very precious and you don't want to use your items.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't do that. I do that. That's how
I ended up being a minimalist. I'm like, let me toss everything that I don't need, so I don't have to think about it.
Oh, see, like I save my Master Ball in Pokemon and I never use it. Like it's like one of those things I just never use my items because I'm like, this is too precious to use in an everyday situation. I'm gonna save it for something special. But like, why? Why am I doing that? It's a mental. It's like
I
something
think it
mental in my
is.
head.
Oh, I
Yeah,
might need this, and then you're on the final boss, and you still have all of your potions, right?
right. And you've beat
And
the
you don't even
game
end up using
and
them.
you've never used them. Yeah, that's how I
Okay,
am.
now what do I do with this?
Right. So like, I have tons and tons and tons of these things, and I barely use them. But I've been trying to get better about it. I have been trying to get better about it. So every time I'm doing like a personal help request, I pop one of the mastery ones so that everything I get from the rewards will give me a little tiny bit of mastery.
Oh, that's a good way to use it. I haven't thought of that.
Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff in there that like I'm really lazy and like a lot of that stuff I'm not going to sit there and make. Um, and they give you the rarer fish and stuff that are harder to get.
They do have some good rewards on those. I'll tell you, most of my meals I've ended up giving to is it Mariah for
Oh yeah,
friendship
that's a
levels.
good idea.
She loves most. Now, granted, if you really want to level, Leather Diary is probably the way to go um, with her friendship level. But
That's a cheaper
yeah,
option, a less slow
it's
option, but
it is. But when you got like thousands and thousands of meals, like I'm never, especially the ones I'm never going to use, like the ones for exploring
right.
experience
The onion soup one, yeah, that one is almost useless if you're like end
or Over the
game.
Moons, same way. Cat's Meow, I don't use a whole lot because I don't really manually
If you're
fish.
giving stuff for friendship, you should be popping on over the moon. So I did, those quests that Force Path wrote the Kretz quest.
Oh,
That's
that's
the
another one we can
Junlin.
complain about, right?
Yeah, we can
Junlin
complain about that.
Quest.
I did them though. I did all 5 of them, right? But I kept popping the over the moon along with because I can do 3 meals at a time because I paid the extra for that one. I did the
Uh-huh.
gold, so I was popping the Quandary Chowder to get more out of my lemonade and APs, and over the moon, and I think there was one more. Oh, and I think it was like a Nene all at the same time.
hmm
So I had them all at the same time going, and I would just pop over and give Roomba all of the scrap because we just got recipes for everything in that area like
Right,
yesterday,
like yesterday. Yep.
but I did them when they dropped. So like I was like, okay, I'm gonna get something out of this. So I have like Roomba at level 80 at this point. Like he
Oh
is
wow.
all the way up because I just gave him all of the scrap metal and all the scrap wire and everything in there.
Yeah, I'm at 63 with them. I mean, I've been doing the same thing, but I've been obviously a little bit slower pace. I think on it. I'm on. Excuse me, farmer number 3.
Yeah,
So
that and there's 5 of them. It's
they're 5. Yeah.
the rewards at the end are very good, but God, that was such a slog. It was such a slog. And I know that, that was the point. But
It is. And because I knew that was the point, I didn't rush to do it.
oh yeah.
Just been like, all right, when I get like 1 million stamina banked, I'll go blow it there. And then in between, we'll just kind of be waiting and watching.
Yeah, I blew through like
doing what else
3 million stamina. So.
Oh, I think I probably used more than that, but I haven't gotten through it yet. So I don't know. Maybe I had a good drop rate on the crests.
Oh yeah, sounds like you had good RNG then. But yeah, that was rough. But yeah, cooking, it's helpful when you're doing big quests like that. I find the popping a meal and then exploring for 5 minutes until your fingers go numb, and then taking a little bit of a break. The clicking wildly.
Yeah, that and actually using those large nets for things now, as opposed to just giving away when you're getting ready to overflow. It's like,
oh my goodness,
pop a couple mils, burn through those. And it seems like there's quite a few of us that are getting really close to having that 1 trillion silver, figuring out, do I want to hold on to it? Do I want to do the inventory upgrade? Do I want to buy another crop row?
All these Richie riches. I don't have anywhere near that. I'm like at like 200 billion. So like I'm like, I'm just scratching the surface of the 1 trillion.
Yeah, I'm almost there. I've got 879 in the bank and about 70 on hand and a large supply of nets. So I'm thinking the inventory is the way to go.
And what the fuck? I'll have so much money, but like, I never really focused that hard on the silver production. I really should, because I know I'm going to need it once I get to the higher levels of the tower. I mean, I'm like at 123 right now, which is bonkers for me.
Right.
Because I said I was never going to even get to 100, but I did. So
that was another small update we had the other day, that the amount you have in the bank now shows up.
Oh, I know. That's great, because I keep forgetting I have money in there. So
it's nice. Funny, the perks now, we get up to 160 million per day. If I go and scroll through my history, there was one point, I'm going way back. I got to scroll way, way back for this. On the 30th of June, and this would have been 2021, so not even last June, the June prior, I made 80 million in interest in the bank. And Firestream's like, nope, that's too much. That's breaking the economy. And that's when we had the cap put on. You can only get 5 million a day at that point. And we had the great economic overhaul at that point. 80 million broke the server, or not didn't break the server, broke the economy, and
broke the economy. Yeah, you were too rich.
Too rich, and now it's like double that's what everyone gets, and we still don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, I know. Everybody was complaining about those, even the perks at I think the discounted rate, because he put those on a discount when he edited them, and people were complaining about that, and it was a great discount. I jumped on it. I blew a bunch of gold and bought them because I didn't have them, because I barely put anything in the bank, but I don't have anything to spend my silver on or my gold on.
It's had to keep up to be more than just a drop in the bucket, and it still kind of is, but more than just a drop in the bucket as the economy grew in the game. So back to cooking. The other big thing with that's made it easier was having coal in the quarry.
That's much appreciated. I do like the coal in the quarry. Also, it helps because you can level up. I think Beatrice she really likes explosives or something.
Right.
So you can get your friendship level up with her she actually just likes black powder, so you could just give her black powder. But it might be more worth it to do the explosives with that black powder, because I think you get more from crafting it. I think it's like more bang for your buck with all the benefits you get from like double prizes and all the other stuff.
Yeah. The more things you can craft definitely will make a difference. She loves both of them.
Yeah, she does. So like that's the same thing with like Holger and like axes. I think it was. Is it a Holger? Somebody really liked axes. And also mushroom paste. And we were trying to figure out what was more worth it, to give them the axes or the mushroom paste. But it was actually the axes it's a better option, just because you actually would get more axes from the amount of mushroom paste because of the crafting bonuses.
Yeah, all the perks. Now it does take 2 black powder to make 1 explosive, so that.
So maybe that one doesn't even
may not quite work out, but If you need to grandmaster them both, and that's still a good
Yeah, may as
move
well.
to make.
Then what else do we have going? Oh, we had meals during the Thanksgiving event, which was a
We did.
new thing,
as
and I
opposed
made
to
so much silver because it was like 33% more more silver sold when you popped one of the
on top of the event,
Yeah.
which is opposed to the Halloween event where they were disabled.
right. And I think we only got like
Different stats.
20%. So like I made a ton of money. I should have held on all my spheres, but neither here nor there. I still made a ton of money at both events. So
That's where most of us were getting close to that 1 trillion, was burning through all the perks and nets
right.
during that Thanksgiving bonus. And now we're all kind of hoarding them again, waiting like, what are we going to get for Christmas?
Also, I don't know if we want to talk about what we were talking about going through all our nets, but there's like literally no lag on the last event. I don't know if you noticed, but I did, because he did some update with the back end, and now it's like smooth as butter to
shout
blow
out
through like
to
a
Code
1,000.
Ranger.
Right? Code Ranger.
With all that optimization. Made a huge difference.
It was really like literally no lag whatsoever for the entire event. So
it's pretty nice.
Yeah, it was really
Even
great.
with, I think, quite a bit of activity on the server.
Yeah, in contrast to Halloween, where we were all like just chugging and had to slow down everything. So this new code really, we saw a very quick turnaround on that. It was really, really excellent. So good job, Code Ranger, if you're listening. I don't know if you are. But
everyone else can give him kudos for us.
Yeah, send them some trout.
Fill that mailbox.
But yeah, it was bomb. Really good event. For both events. I don't think we even got to talk about the Halloween event. The Halloween event was really fun. Haunted House was back. The Thanksgiving event was fun. And we got all those turkeys and some cute backgrounds and, overall for everything.
I think I completely missed the backgrounds.
For Thanksgiving, you have literally 2 seconds to get, until whenever reset is. So you have,
oh man, let me go look.
5 hours or whatever to go grab them.
In the art gallery?
Go to the art gallery, because it's like there's a really pretty like one for gold. It's golden leaves. It's very, very pretty. The other one is like a Thanksgiving table, but I don't really like that one very much. But I bought it anyway because of the FOMO. I can't not have it, but it all gets cut off when you have it on my iPad does anyway. For the fall harvest one, it takes turkeys.
There we go. So yeah, there's the one for golden leaves.
It's called Fall Harvest.
Fall Harvest.
It takes 100 turkeys. I don't know what order they're in.
There you go. It's not quite alphabetical. Yeah, the fall turkeys, you know what? I'm going to get that one. I can do that one.
There you go. You got 100 turkeys?
I'm holding on to my gold for a little bit. So I'll get my beta status gold, and I'll get I usually buy the starter packs at the start of the month.
I do too. I actually took advantage of the Black Friday sale. I don't think I've bought gold outside of a starter pack and being beta pretty much ever. But I was like, there was a Black Friday sale, and I got like an extra. I got like the $25 one. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna splurge. My husband was buying stuff on Black Friday. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna
spend some money too.
Spend some money myself. Get myself some like 800 gold or however much it was, 720 gold or something. Like I'm gonna get some.
It's funny how that works. It's like once your spouse starts spending money, it's like, all right, I can buy something too, and I'm not gonna get chewed out for it.
Right. Exactly. I mean, he bought like 3 video games at like on a Best Buy sale. I was just like, you know what? I'm spending $25. He's just like, yeah, go ahead. And I'm like, it's a Black Friday sale. I'm buying premium currency in a game I play. He's just like, that's fine. He calls it just corn. He doesn't really even call it anything but corn now. So
just corn.
It's just corn to him because of back when I was in corn jail 100 years ago. I was just like, he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm planting corn. So now it's just corn all the time to Vinny. So
yeah. So I'm waiting till, I guess it's coming up pretty soon. The 1st of December is going to be tomorrow at the time of recording. We'll get that bonus gold. And then I'm going to buy the perk for the wishing well. Throw 10 more things in there.
Yeah, it's awesome. And that's another good thing to talk about because the price for the items are now like it's 1 gold per throw, period. So like it used to go up. So it was like when you threw 5 things in, it would be 5 gold to throw the 5th thing in, or 11 things to throw the 11th thing, 11 gold to throw the 11th thing in. But now it's 1 gold for everything. So it's actually like a great option if you have like straggling gold, because like I have like 54 gold in my thing right now. I could throw 4 in and get back to an even number.
An even number if you need that.
Yeah,
we do
that's
have.
like my I need to have everything be like an even, like either a 5 or a 0.
That was such a pain point when we had stamina upgrades that people would buy that would be like odd numbers. And it was like, I don't want 25, I want 30 or whatever it was. It's like, how do we not have odd stamina?
That was one of the first things I ever messaged staff about when I first started playing, is that I upgraded to have, I had like an odd number in my stamina, and then like I upgraded to like the 2, so it was never going to be an even number ever.
Right.
And I was just like, oh no, I can't have this. So I had to message somebody, and I don't remember who I messaged. I was like, can somebody please help me with this? Because it was before support was a thing, I think. Like, can somebody please help me and just set my thing down? I'll take the loss on the 1. I don't mind. And yeah, they whoever did it did, thank God, because I couldn't have it. I was like, no, can't have this be an odd number. I'm going to lose my mind.
But when it was odd, there was certain points where it would go over the amount you could have when it was storing up. So yeah. So that's why I tell players when they complain, I'm like, why are you upset about the odd? You can it's like every 4th upgrade, you hit a point where it'll actually go over what you actually have before we could bank it. So that was a strategy at the time.
Yeah. I don't know if my brain would allow me to do that back then, but but yeah.
I used to care a lot more about min-maxing than now. I'm kind of like, whatever.
Yeah, I never. I'm so casual. I got into the game mostly because, I really like the community aspect, but like I never care about min-maxing. I'm just like, I'll take the loss. I don't mind. That's like why I did all the crests. Everyone's like, wait until there's something to craft there. I'm like, I don't care. I'm gonna get more. I'm gonna get more stamina. It's always refilling. It's okay.
So what else have we got in updates? You can like updates now.
Oh yeah, that's fun. I do like that. You get one. You get 1 ancient coin for liking an update. I think it's more so that Firestream can see who's read it for the most part, like how many people have actually looked at the update.
Right.
Which is handy for him. I mean, the whole app got an update the other day. Now we got a cool winter icon on the app stores. So
yeah.
Because I think
it threw me
Android
off a little bit when I looked
today.
at that.
Yeah, Android updated today too. So like, I think Apple was yesterday, the day before, and Android is today. That they both got their updates. So you should be seeing a cute new
skins.
Yeah, icon, and it looks nice. I think Code Ranger did that too. He did the new icon.
He did the new icon, and there's supposed to be. I don't know if it's out yet or not, but there's supposed to be new holiday themed background music. That's probably still coming up.
The holiday background music is in. I think it's available now, but the holiday skin that's coming out is not out yet. But by the time this comes out,
it may. We'll see.
It may be there. We'll see.
I never play with the sound on.
I don't either. I turned it on just to listen to it to see what it sounded like when he added it, and I turned it off immediately. I play during the day mostly while I'm working, as like a side thing to look away from my computer. Yeah. So having that on would be drive me absolutely insane.
Yeah, that my phone is always completely off. I never have sounds on my phone. It's vibrate only ever. So even on my phone, it wouldn't come on. It just unless I was playing while I was driving and it was plugged in and I was using the CarPlay.
Oh God,
that's probably not a good idea.
Yeah,
Farm would not be happy with me.
Don't farm and drive.
Yeah, we have that the State Farm Stay Safe and Drive thing where they have a little beacon in your car and it dings you if you dink on your phone or do anything with it. Yeah,
well, that's funny.
As a negative, same as if you're speeding.
How does it know?
Well, because it syncs. Yeah, there's an app on your phone, and it syncs to your phone with Bluetooth. So that's how it knows when you're driving or not and where you're going. So it's kind of two together. So it knows if you were on your phone or not.
Wow. It sees you when you're sleeping. It's very
kind of.
Very like,
if I know I'm going to be in a hurry somewhere, I like disable the Bluetooth on my phone.
That's
I'm like,
probably
you're not going to
smart.
catch me speeding this time, Steve.
Right. You don't want to get points off.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're okay. Another thing, a bunch of stuff were added. I know we kind of brushed over it quickly, but the spoon, we can make spoons now. So it's an
Yes,
easy mastery. That one is
more need
easy.
for axes. You need
Mhm.
axes.
You need access for them, but they are pretty easy. But people were complaining that I said they were easy, and they got very mad at me. In spoilers the other day, I was like, "You guys are cracked off. But it's easy. It's an easy mastery at least."
Yeah, jam maybe a little bit of work, but even then, you could probably do it in like 2 days, or
Right.
even a day if you're focused
Somebody
on
did
it.
it in like an hour. I
Yeah.
saw it. I saw it
Oh
happen.
yeah.
So like that is a thing. And then we also got all the stuff in Junlin, like a ton of things. I think 5 different things, but there's more to come.
So
To
we got
build a
pear
big
grace,
item.
uses prickly pear, blue gel, glass bottles. We got energy coils, glass orbs, scrap wire, spool of copper. Can't read. Steel, transistors, wrenches. Let's see what else we get. We got the metal spool, which is a broken pipe, coal, nail, and scrap metal. And then we got the belt drive, which is a pulley, purple dye, and rope. So none of those are things that are only in Juneland, but they all use a lot of the really common things you get
Yeah, in
in
Junlin.
Juneland.
I like the purple rope. And I like that it says here that the purple rope, he said the purple rope makes it faster in chat, I believe. And that's why it has a purple rope. Just very
Okay,
funny. That's straight from Firestream. He said it in chat. He said
it
it in
makes it
spoilers.
faster. It's
It
purple.
makes it faster. The purple dye makes the rope faster. So
There we go.
yeah. But it's a
Believe
very
it
good
or not,
addition.
yeah, some new things to work on a master. I have not yet worked on any of these. I have not done more than the bare minimum the last couple of weeks with
I feel
any
that.
new updates coming out. Or podcast editing. Those who listen know we haven't released anything pretty much all November. So
It's
not
been
because
very
the
busy.
podcast is going away. It's just been, Augie's been slammed. I've been slammed. I haven't been in chat enough to even get people's interest. So I need to.
Yeah, there's been
do
a
more
lot
of
of
that.
folks just missing for the last month just because I don't know, everybody's just very, very busy, which is fine. That happens. But it'll be nice to get back to it when we can get back to it.
It will be. It will be. I will say, since the last episode released, I do have one accomplishment.
Oh.
And I'm still the only one in the game that's done this.
Oh, fanfare.
And that is grandmastering pine trees.
Wow. That's a big crop to grandmaster.
That one took a while. Yeah, it took a couple months, but that's where we're at. Now we're moved on to pumpkins. I've got everything slower than pumpkins grandmastered.
Oof.
We are on
That
those
is a lot.
pumpkins
Did
now.
you utilize the breakfast boosts for your grandmastering to bring it back to tie it back into cooking for the early crops anyway?
I have for the early crops. I did it before cooking was a thing. I did those quite a while ago.
Darn.
So like peppers was like what, an hour and a half or 2.5 hours, I think. Just
of like active clicking.
Of active clicking, just focus on it, get it done.
Yeah, that's a lot. Those are it takes so long. Like I did carrots, I think around Easter, just because the Easter event you had to grow like some eggs. You could get from growing carrots. So I went wild and I grew so many carrots and I got like my GM then. But like all the other ones, I have just let sit. I'm like they're in like the I don't know, probably mid 50s, 50,000s for the rest.
Yeah.
I've got to just pop a couple breakfast boosts and like just crank. But
yeah, those do make those a lot easier. I do pop those when I need the fast crops for cooking. But
it's very helpful for that.
Other than that, I just have a ton of those breakfast burritos just because I usually have enough ingredients to cook a bunch of them without doing extra work.
Yeah,
so
that's the way to do it. Also,
I like
those are really good.
I'm doing that just because it's a long cook time.
Yeah, I can't wait for more cooking recipes to come out that are a little bit longer that will give more XP for it. I know
that would be nice.
Actually coming.
They also GM faster. Like the sea pincher special, I've got GM'd as well. I guess there's 7 people that have that at the moment.
Wow.
Because I've cooked so many of them.
Yeah, and I think the stirring and stuff is more effective on those to get
It is because of the
more.
longer time it goes faster. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So that'll help with
And
mastery.
I have not really used fruit punch at all yet for moving mastery along on these.
The only way I used them before is that when it was like the first time I cooked the item so that I could get the mastery. Because if you don't, all your stirring and everything just goes to waste. So that's the thing to remember is if you have not got that recipe yet, for anybody who hasn't, if you haven't got it, it's your first time cooking, grape juice or fruit punch the first one so that you get that counter towards your mastery. Like don't fill up all your slots with it until you've done at least one. And then after that, you can do it because then all your stirs and everything will count. It doesn't count unless you've done at least one.
You gotta have had it unlocked in the museum,
right,
before the mastery starts counting.
So, if you fill up your whole thing with like 5 or whatever meals and you don't have a single mastery, all that stirring is for nothing. So, or if is it stirring, I don't know which one it is. One of them, the one that counts towards mastery.
Yep.
So, makes it more worth it. Actually, I think stirring reduces the time. I think it might be tasting that does the mastery. I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah. The one new perk that I did buy was the Raptor Rescue.
You bought that one?
I've even used it once.
Ooh, I haven't.
I probably won't use it a lot, but I did buy it.
My Raptors are in the pits right now. They are just the worst. I got a pizza.
Podcast guest hit pizza. Pizza's funny. When you first hit it, when you only have like 1 or 2 losses, that puts you like almost at the top of the league.
Right.
Right. And then you drop all the way to the bottom, and then you work your way back up slowly. So my most mature Raptor in the league is podcast guest, who's currently got back into rankings. He's at number 46 in the pizza league.
Wow, that's pretty good. Pizza league, my the alpha and the omega, who is like my longest running Raptor, is right now at 618 in the league, but overall is at 117. So like,
yeah, so it's been in long enough to drop down in the pizza league, and soon we'll hit that burst we climb back up.
Right, it's gonna crank back up eventually. Someday it'll get there. My other 2 are nowhere near it. One's in hot dog, and probably gonna not go any further, and one's in burger. It's slowly moving. So like,
my other 2 are both burger leagues, and both in the thousands in rankings in burger league.
Oh God. Well, yeah, both of mine are in the. Well, one's in hot dog and is in like the thousands, and one's in burger in the thousands. One is at. Oh, what is this? Yeah, not good. Yeah, he's not good. Overall, at 5,000, not good. Yeah, his name's Crispy Cheese. He sucks. I gotta get another Raptor in there. But
Crispy Cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's really funny when RFC first kind of came out, or early on, and we're like, wish we could see how many were in all the different leagues. And Firestream's like, oh, you can. You go and you click here and here. And like, we don't see it. It's like, really? No, you just click here. You click the see all leagues. I'm like, nope. Then he realized, oh, I have not enabled that for everyone.
Oh no. Well,
and now we can go check out Don't Hit Me in Shrimp League. Currently sitting record of 0 and 100 or 451. 0 and 451.
That's amazing. Good. I think is that in the Toothless Raptor? It must be. Have you seen the Toothless Raptor page?
It's one called Don't Hit Me. The Toothless Raptor page? No, I've not. Is that a library page?
So it's a library page, and it's like, let me see if it's still there. So it's
Don't Hit Me has all 2 for stats.
All 2s. It looks like. Well, looks like it hasn't been updated in a minute, so maybe it needs to be, because if it's never like won a match, then it's called the Toothless Raptor. It's got like the most. Looks like the last time this was updated was on the 1st of this month, so 30 days ago. So, and it was somebody named Toothless Challenger. So if that's the case, it sounds like that it needs to be updated. I can update it. I'll update this page with this new Toothless Raptor.
Let's see, Toothless Raptor was 0 and 1,714. So, yeah, Don't Hit Me is not quite to that level yet.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a quarter of the way there.
Oh, so it's going to stay there for that amount of time. I just thought it was whoever was in the shrimp league.
Well, there's only one person in Shrimp League.
Right, ever.
Well, you get two briefly, and then one of them gets kicked out because they win and they move up. But,
so funny.
Yeah, Toothless Challenger beat somebody.
Eventually.
And,
Moved up.
that might have been. Don't hit me.
Must have. I mean, this guy has been in there for 1,000 something battles, so I'm assuming at some point this month.
Yeah, 1,714 versus 400 and something, and that's a pretty big jump. It'll take a little while.
Oh yeah. So eventually, but I
Still
haven't bought
holding that
one.
spot. Having that spot's a challenge.
That
yeah,
is.
It's one of those. It's kind of like, how much am I really going to use it? I don't know. Probably not a whole lot, but sometimes I buy them just to have them unlocked, so I don't have that tantalizing thing on town saying how many new perks are left, with the exception of the one that I'll never buy, and that is the was it Stargazer or something like that makes.
I will never buy that one either. It's an absolute. It's so useless. I don't know. Does anybody actually even use the
Star Map? That's what it is.
Yeah,
the
the
Charters and Expeditions.
The Charters and Expeditions. I've used them before.
People
I used them when I first started.
Yeah. Some people do. Usually they're newer, but they do get enough use that Firestream's like, well, people are using them, so I guess I'll leave it in. But it's
may as well keep it.
Yeah, it's not a lot. That's the one I won't buy. I mean, if I look at my perk tier list, I think I gave it the lowest tier you can possibly give it, and the only one. It's in there. It's in a league of its own. In my estimation, let's see, what did I give it? I gave it a Star Map. I gave it a 4, a ranking of tier 4 for your perks that you buy. It's the only one that's there.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
There's lots of 3s, some 2s, a couple of 1s. There's a few 4s that I put for skill buying for the points, the ones you buy with points, not with gold, that are most of the experienced ones, just because once you hit level 99, they kind of lose their value.
Yeah, I took those off. Oh, that's another thing we can talk about though, with the perks in the perk section, is if you're in beta, you can now unclick specific perks that you don't want to have active anymore. So it makes it really, really handy. Like, say if you need something that is like not on the rare side, you can go in and turn off some of your tower perks. Specifically which one is it? It's the one that gives you the better items. You can turn it off. I think you can. If you wanted to, yeah. So that you could get your less rare, your more common items better than the rarer ones. I don't know if it matters. Some people like to min-max that way. I don't. I just leave everything on, and I don't care. But
yeah, I'm lazy. I've got pretty much all of them unlocked except the experienced ones.
Yep.
And energy drink. I have enough points for energy drink, but I'm never under max stamina anymore, not since the changes with banking them.
So. Yeah, same. I just actually, what did I just buy today? I bought double hooks. I didn't have it. I didn't have double hooks, and I just bought it. Because it was the one of them I was missing.
That helps when you got the daily chores for manually catching fish.
That does help.
Faster.
Yeah, it goes like some. I mean, it's 20% chance you'll catch 2 fish, but I mean, if you pop, what's it called? Cat's meow at the same time. Yeah, it'll pop it up a little bit more.
They stack. It does go up. Yeah.
So another way to use your meals there.
All right. Is there anything with cooking we haven't talked about that we should?
I mean, we could talk about the cookie, the spooky cookie. I think that's the only thing we didn't really talk about is the special spooky cookie. I wonder if we'll get some special Christmas cookie. But the spooky cookie is. I have 20. I can give you some if you want some. So people just keep giving them to me.
6. They're so good for working on those masteries.
Oh yeah,
you pair that with your mastery when you go through and using your grape juice for the day, and yeah, it triples how many you can go. So if I'm doing my pumpkins and I pop one of those with my mastery, I go from getting like 400 pumpkins using all my grape juice for the day to getting like 1,200 or something like that.
Have you been doing that over reset? I heard that's the way to do it, is to pop a cookie, pop another meal, the mastery meal, and then grape juice everything at like, at reset, like right before reset, pop it like 2 minutes before, and then do your next day's reset right at the same time.
Yeah, I'm not awake.
Right, me
Server
either.
resets to do that. That would be the way to do it. But no, I typically wait till my pumpkins are already ready before I pop it, just so I get that extra harvest when you
Smart.
first click them. So
Smart.
I do that most of the time. I'm just being a little more careful because I'm down to 6 of those spooky cookies.
Yeah, I have not used any of them because I'm too afraid. Here's where that comes back in again as a callback, but I'm way too afraid to use that that item, and so they just sit in there. I'm like, I'm going to need this at some point, but eventually we'll maybe get like an actual meal that does something similar but not as strong. Then it would be something I don't feel like I have to hold on to anymore.
It's funny that pumpkin pie shows up under your meals, but you can't actually eat it.
Right. I think that was maybe a mistake, but has not been corrected. So
Yeah.
I think it's been pointed out a few times, so it's okay. It can stay there. It looks delicious.
I just noticed it. It does look delicious. Yeah, it's making me a little hungry.
Yeah, I actually had pumpkin pie for breakfast this morning. It makes me want more pumpkin pie. So still eating that leftover from Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, yeah, we still have some apple strudel and a little bit of turkey, but we've gotten through the rest of it.
Yeah, I used up all my turkey. I made soup. I made turkey soup tonight for dinner, and then we just finished up the last bite of pumpkin pie for breakfast this morning. So we're completely out of Thanksgiving food. But we had our Thanksgiving with our friends on Saturday, so there was like a lot of people at my house eating a lot of food, and we had so much left over. But now it's all gone. We got through it pretty good.
That's good. Yeah, I used up the only turkey we have left is just the 2 legs, and the rest of it that was kind of just cut off. I had made some turkey sandwiches to take to my youngest kid Bushy for dinner at the ice cream shop because he's working till close today. Had to go in right after school.
That's a good dinner for for any kind of Thanksgiving sandwich. I hope you put like the stuffing and the like cranberry and stuff on it.
I am the only one in this household that likes stuffing.
What?
I know.
Oh,
my kids don't like it. My wife won't eat it.
That's so sad.
And it's always an argument with my wife. It's like, look, just because I'm the only one that eats it doesn't mean that one box is enough.
Right, you need so much stuffing.
I lose that argument.
That's too bad. This is a very stuffing forward household. We
gravy
love it.
is the same way. No one else in the house will eat gravy.
What? Oh my god.
Well, because we do Thanksgiving, but it's not quite the traditional one. Just because my wife she's Czech, so she came here when we got married when she was like 20. How old was she? I was 21, so she would have been 23 at the time. So she's kind of learned what her traditions are, but she still likes to do her European thing. So we did apple strudel instead of pumpkin pie, for example.
I mean, that's still good. Apple strudel is really good. I mean, I do love an apple strudel. I did an apple crisp this year instead of doing apple pie because usually I do make 2 pies, and I was just like not feeling making the dough. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make an apple crisp this year. But a strudel is a good idea too.
That's pretty good. We keep it pretty simple though. We do the turkey, some potatoes, and dessert, and then usually croissant rolls or something like that with it. And that's enough with leftovers. We only got 4 people eating. When we have people come visit, we'll do more, but that doesn't happen as often now as it used to.
Yeah, we go absolutely psycho. So
got older and moved further away from family. So
yeah, that's always tough.
Don't visit as often.
We have to do like so many Thanksgivings. It's very silly. Like we do my husband's family. We go to his house for Thanksgiving. Then we do my parents for dessert. And then on the Saturday after Thanksgiving, we have friends over and we cook a whole nother turkey. And, it's bonkers. We have just too many Thanksgivings in my life. So someday I'll have less Thanksgivings to do.
All right. Well, I think talking about cooking and the events, we've rambled for about 41 minutes now. I think that's a pretty good length.
Yeah.
Probably
that'll fill in the time for sure.
That will. Good point to wrap this up.
All right. Sounds good. Classic tea time sign off is bye.
Bye.